Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for the invite, Drunk Sports. Thank you so much for inviting me to the show.
No doubt, appreciate it, man. Let me.
Bueno, saluda a mi gente de ese que se me olvida, no tienen que apuntarlo.
El Strong Sports Talk. Aquí estamos con el próximo campeón.
Oye, estas son la gente que son, más nada.
Así mismo. A ver.
26, I would think, right?
I agree.
Um, let's go to another fight in this card, right? This is my guy too. You know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm talking about. Another, you know what I mean? Keyshawn Davis. I fuck with Keyshawn, a silver Olympic medalist. Another cat I got a super high opinion of. Top ranks, built him very well. He moved from prospect to champ, you know, pretty quickly after beating Baranchek for the lightweight strap. He's had some good wins along. Baranchik has had some good wins along the way. The Gustavo Lemos fight, the Pedraza. So he's been in there. Baranchik's been in there with some guys. So that was a credible win. Keyshawn's a guy been around a little bit. I like his spirit. I like his fire. You know what I'm saying? That night we was around. We was around him. It was funny as shit. He's gotten to a little bit of shit. Last time out, he missed weight, got stripped right before the De Los Santos fight. A fight I really wanted to see, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a common opponent with Shakur, although we know him and Shakur is not going to fight, but I kind of wanted to see, it's kind of like a litmus test a little bit to see where he was. How would he react to that style? They say Shakur ran against
common opponent with Tank. What you mean?
Common opponent against
Shakur?
Tank.
Come on now.
Right, you know what I'm saying? I would have liked to see
former world champion, right? So,
I think former world champ. I think he would have stood in the box with De Los Santos. Either way, that fight didn't happen, right? We know about the whole brawl thing backstage with his brother and what's my man name? Albright.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to talk about that. That's over and done with. Looking at him now, he served this little, unofficial suspension. They kind of put him on the shelf a little bit. He's back. Every time I seen him on interviews, whether it's Ring Magazine or Fight Hype, he seems re-energized. He seems refocused. He was a man of God. He seems positive. And I think he's ready to rock. You know what I'm saying? And he seems like a nice guy. You know what? I mean, he seems like he's matured. I like he. I think he has one of the potential. I think he has the potential to be one of those guys in boxing if he just keeps his shit together. You know what I'm saying? He does. I heard somebody say something about him the other day, and they described it perfectly. He's not great at one thing, but he's good at a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Not the fastest, but he does have speed. Doesn't have the most power, but he does have power. He's got a really good IQ. So when I heard that he's fighting his brother, Jermaine Ortiz, I said to myself, okay, yeah, they think he's ready. You know what I'm saying? Ortiz is no slouch. When I originally heard this fight, I think it was like supposed to be Richardson Hitchens fighting Ortiz. Then he wasn't fighting him. Then I think Keyshawn and Richard Hitchens was gonna fight. I don't know exactly how it went. It winds up Ortiz and Keyshawn, and I say to myself, "Wow, this is a real fucking test, man." I think Ortiz would have tested Hitchens as well, right? We know about Ortiz, hell of a fighter. In my opinion, beat T.O. I think he beat. I said that when it happened. This is not just hindsight. I thought he beat T.O. I thought he has a case. That you could say he beat Lomo, at least, had a draw with him. Beat Albright, beat Jamal Herring, all quality fighters. He has some trouble with Adorno. Adorno's tricky, he's powerful, right? But he's a talented fighter who a lot of guys stay away from because there's a lot of movement, good footwork, good hand speed, real ring IQ. He's not a guy that guys just want to call out. You know what I'm saying? He's not a guy you just want to get in the ring with because of his style and his, and the Tom and Jerry supposedly shit. So props to Keyshawn first and foremost, right? When you heard about this fight, what was your thoughts, and who wins this fight in your opinion?
I got Keyshawn winning this fight because I believe Keyshawn is the more talented fighter, and he's on the upside versus Ortiz is he's at that point where he's not on a decline, right, but he's certainly gatekeeping, and I say that as respectfully as possible. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Will he get title shots? Absolutely. But it will be by the virtue of matchmaking of people that think he's on the downside versus, or at this point, versus people that they got to see where he's at. Like look at where Ortiz at. Respectfully, he was gatekeeper at 135, right?
Yeah.
Now he's up at 40, and he's gatekeeping as well, right?
Yeah.
If he ends up at 47, he'll have some gatekeeper tendencies as well, meaning, he'll get a win at 147 against a mid-level opponent, and then when they're bringing Shakur up to 147, guess who Shakur is going to fight?
Right.
Jermaine Ortiz. So Jermaine Ortiz, I'm not setting him up to lose this fight because I think less of him. I just think that when he's paired against that upper echelon,
he doesn't close.
And it's not his fault. That's what makes him a credible gatekeeper. That's why it's more of a respectful position in the title for him to be in. Again, as far as the fight, I think as far as Keyshawn, forget about the fight because Keyshawn is what makes this a fight. Remember, we know what Jermaine Ortiz is. He's the test, right?
Right.
Keyshawn, man, he could be a lot of things. He could be hell. Let's keep it funky because I don't be on duck time.
Facts, though.
He could be Adrian Broner too. We see where Adrian Broner's at in his career too. And if you don't pay attention,
damn, you like that? I don't think you would go down that path.
Listen to what I'm saying. Why not though? Because it starts with legal problems.
Right.
Now, thankfully, he ain't have no legal problems after they jump homie. You know what I'm saying? Like again, you ain't got to talk about, but I'm gonna talk about it because now we have fighters that do dumb shit when they're young and they recover. Remember, we got Shakur on footage, in the famous parking lot, footage, but look how young he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can tell by the way he was throwing his little mitts. And I want to hold Keyshawn a little bit more accountable because again, Shakur at the time was young. At this time, Keyshawn, he was already a young dad, but there's certain things I gotta hold you accountable once you step into that realm. So
indeed.
Leaving Bomac, because he said he learned all he could.
Who's he with?
He said he's starting his own.
Yeah, I tried to look it up. I couldn't find who's his trainer? Who's his cornerman? Who's his?
I don't have a name.
Strength and conditioning guy. What's the team like? You don't know, right?
If he in Virginia, he need to go holler at Nerdy Boxing over in Fredericksburg. He need to holler at my peoples because I don't know who the fuck he with.
I lived in Fredericksburg. I don't know that spot, but shout out to all my Virginia niggas. Go ahead, yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? So granted, I respect what. So and I just got a little bit of question, because I don't. Keyshawn strikes me as the kind of young man. If you surround him with positivity and good support, he's going to be just fine. Yeah. I don't know where the positivity and good support is because I can't identify it. If he think he good, that's good for him. But he's going to have to prove it to me and maybe a few others, which I think is a good position to be in. Yeah. I don't think anybody is shaming him, and I don't think what I'm saying is negative. I'm saying man to man, adult to adult. And if you want people to become a fan of who you are, a fan of your style of boxing, and a fan of your career, pencils have erasers, and we know Keyshawn made mistakes. This night, he's going to have to pull out the biggest fucking eraser we've ever seen. He's going to have a good post-show speech, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Good call-outs that make sense. Maybe he stay on Tank Davis' head. He's gonna have to.
Tank ain't fighting him, man. Tank ain't fighting. Who's Tank fighting? Tank fighting.
I don't even care. I'm just bringing it up to the point of you have to be the other Davis, and you have to build your career on something else other than what people remember him from. So,
what do you like at 35 if he wins this fight? Which you seem to think it's a lock. I'm not so sure. I'm rooting for him to win. I could see.
Is this fight at 35 or is it at 40?
This is at.
I thought it was at 40.
I think it is at 40. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying, and that's that is so maybe too. This is a factor because the fact that he used to indulge in cannabis leads me to believe he's quite cerebral. He's an overthinker, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe the pressure with Top Rank and the idea of. Well, maybe I do got to fight Shakur if we both going to be at 135. I don't want to have to move up to 140 or whatever. And now they have a little bit more finality between the two of them, right? Yeah. Like, look, I'm at 140, but shit, Shakur is like, I'm taking fights wherever. Shakur is going to take fights, between, 35 and 147 within the next few years as long as they make sense. Yeah. taking fights. I don't necessarily think for titles. If there's a title involved, sure. Keyshawn is going to have to establish a championship legacy. So he's going to have to hang around in the division. And
he says he's going to 47 though, but I think that's
not without fighting Richardson Hitchens, because Richardson Hitchens has been making some weird decisions about who he's going to fight, and to fight a contemporary, a fellow slick black fighter, if you will, it will give us shades of Hagler and Hearns, or Leonard and Hagler, where two black fighters, young fighters in their prime, faced off because they had to, instead of avoiding each other in a particular division. So Keyshawn, again, I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion. I'm just giving him the advantage of being the younger fighter. I think he's a little bit more raw talented, might have a little bit more pop. Again, don't do nothing exceptionally well, but he does everything very, very good. Meanwhile, Ortiz, his footwork is exceptional, great counter puncher, but sometimes the footwork and the waiting to counter leaves him behind on the scorecards, or doesn't give him credit for some of the ring generalship.
And not sure he has enough pop either in that. You know what I'm saying?
Riddle got 380 power. He's 380.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. He's fighting this fight at 140, right? He's fighting this fight at 140. Says he wants to move up to 47. Shakur is fighting this fight at 40 against Tio, right? And we'll get to that in a minute. But let's say they don't want to fight each other. It looks like they're trying to, position themselves in different divisions so they don't have to have that pressure, because they boys. You've seen them together, on the 24/7 or whatever the shit's called now. You know what I mean? They're hanging out, doing that, whatever.
Sure.
And I like that. What if I don't know if Key can make the weight still, but 35, man. You mentioned Tank Davis. You got Mordecai, Zepeda, dudes like 35 is stacked. Dudes like Cruz, Abdullah Mason. You mentioned Floyd Schofield. He beat Baranchek, whatever. But Sam Noakes, Lucas Body. Like, if you can make 35, there's some names down there you can get busy with. You know what I mean?
But Keyshawn is not making 35 no more.
You don't think
man.
so?
I doubt it very seriously.
Okay.
I doubt it very seriously. He's taller than Shakur. So I feel I feel like his weight is going to carry different. And I just remember, listen, Ray Savage had problems staying at 126. He's at 130. We don't know how long he's going to be at 130. He's flirting at 35. I don't know if you see him on Twitter lately. Because, again, listen, you got to be Latino or like a little Guyanese nigga to be a grown-ass man in less than 150 pounds. Like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a black man? I'm trying to tell you. So I think, there's room for both of these guys to say, yo, I'm going to jump up to 47 and take a fight. Or you go to 40 and take the fight. But I don't think they're going to be, in the same division at the same time. And I think there's enough room. I think Shakur's got more than enough room to go up to 40 and come back to 35. That's the guy.
I think he said he was going to do that too. He didn't say he definitively leaving 35. No, he got work down at 35.
That's the guy that'll clean out 35, and he can wait until whomever is doing whatever. But I feel like Keyshawn, like I said, he's got more reason to stay at 140 and to hang at 140 to 147. You know what I'm saying? To trying to go down to 135, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, you got, he's been linked to all these fights. Like you said, at 40, Hitchens seems to be the fight. Like you said, that would be a great fight. You saw the little interaction with them. Tio's an option. Tio might stay at 40. Matias is kind of off the board right now, but we'll see what he does. You know what I'm saying? Doubt Matias would take that fight anyway. Look, he looks like a rebuild. Puello.
Dalton Smith at 140. This is what I'm trying to say.
He's hot right now. Even somebody like, what's my man's name? The brother, Gary Antoine Russell. Somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? So there's work at 40. I don't want to see him go up to 47.
You just mentioned Adam Azim, right?
Yeah.
Too good.
He's still a little wet behind the ears, but yeah, no doubt.
But that's a great fight for Keyshawn. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's a great international opportunity, right? To get some of that exposure, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking either so if he beats Keyshawn, right? Now the weird thing is, right? You could have something where You know, Shakur, I don't know if Teal's 140 belts are on the line, but he gets them belts and he just said, fuck it, I'm going to vacate.
Yeah.
But he wait to see, you know, what Keyshawn going to do. And you know, they wouldn't fight, but leave it in a position to where, hey, Keyshawn's fighting for a vacant if they can make it happen because, you know, Eddie pulled some strings. Or, you know, I think 135 for Keyshawn is a no-go, and 140 for Keyshawn is the future. Him and Hitchens, him and Dalton Smith, him and some of those guys.
I agree with you. I don't want to see him up at 40 right now. Let Devin them do their thing up at 40. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about Devin in a second. Real quick, I want to get to these last two fights in this thing.